My name is Emily Wemenchuk. I am one of our senior assistant directors for undergraduate admissions here at the university. So happy to be on here, especially with the two guests that I have with us.
Hi, I'm Ellie. I'm a marine science student and I'm class 26, so I'm a junior this year.
Hi everyone, my name is Shruti. Major is Med Bio, and I'm also class 26, a junior as well.
All right, so let's dive on in to experiential learning. So experiential education or hands-on experiences are really a cornerstone to the student experience at UNE. And our location is a really added benefit to that, whether it's research, internships, clinical rotations, and whether that's happening on our Biddeford campus, Portland campus, or our Tangier campus. Students are finding all sorts of opportunities to get outside the classroom and really get a hands-on experience. We do have two locations in southern Maine. We're located in Biddeford, as well as just 30 minutes north in Portland. Each campus provides different opportunities for students based on their unique location. So, given our location in Biddeford, we are the perfect spot for students interested in our School of Marine and Environmental Programs. Our Biddeford campus is right on the water where the Saco River meets the Atlantic Ocean, so it is a natural estuary that is just bursting with biodiversity. We also have an island that's located just off the coast where our students are participating in research and getting to interact with the living environment on a regular basis. Located on just the other side of campus is where we have 363 acres of land where our environmental science students are finding ways to get their hands dirty as well. They have classes where they're learning how to safely capture birds and identify them, or maybe they're, catching squirrels and adding on GIS trackers and tracking their migration patterns. There's all sorts of opportunities within that forest for students to see all sorts of different experiences in their time here at UNE. And then up on our Portland campus, we do have a variety of opportunities for students, especially those interested in our nursing or dental hygiene program. For dental hygiene students, they get to work in our dental clinic, which is open to Portland community members. So that's a great opportunity to be working in their field. We also have students who get to work in our simulation lab, which gives real life experience as to what it might feel like in a hospital setting. So whether a student is interested in doing rotations at Maine Health, or they're finding internships in Portland, there's all sorts of opportunities for them around our Portland campus, on our Portland campus, to have different experiences. And I'm actually going to have Shruti talk about some of her experiences within the health sciences.
Emily, of course. So I've done multiple different shadowing opportunities. I am from New Hampshire, so I do work in the New England area, but I know many numerous people who have done shadowing at Maine Health, which is pretty easy to grab onto, I would say. But I've done different shadowing opportunities of pediatrics, internal medicine, or shadowed also nurse practitioners in the ICU, or even pulmonologists, so like various kind of things. I'm also the president of the pre-med undergraduate club here, so we've also done events associated with the EMT club that we have here, so emergency medical services. And also a fun fact about UNE is that sometimes the EMT club actually pays to get EMT certified for UNE students. So they are more than welcome to become a campus EMT officer, or even work in hospitals located in Lewiston or even Saco. So yeah.
And we're also finding ways for our students to become really involved within our local community. Our students have completed close to 10,000 community service hours every year. And while it might not be a requirement for them, we do find our students are highly engaged in this experience, and they want to create an impact in our community. A big component for a UNE student is also getting involved globally. We encourage all of our students to become global citizens while they're with us. Global education is really important to UNE because it does expand their horizons, and getting to experience other cultures, challenge their current beliefs, whatever it may be, it can be a very enlightening experience for a lot of our students. And we do find that because we have times the national average. So our Tangier campus, UNE Morocco, is very immersed within our local community, and we do our best to make the most of that global experience for our students. The best part about this campus is that it is fully a UNE campus in every way. So it has all the right courses available so that even our nursing students have opportunities to study abroad here. In addition to students studying in a different country, they also have found ways to do volunteer work while abroad. So that might be working in a local dental clinic, a healthcare center, an animal shelter. Students have found all sorts of ways to become involved within that global community. And maybe, you don't want to study in Morocco, that's okay. We do have partnership programs in Iceland, Spain, France, and Norway. And each of those programs offers a very unique experience for students for a whole semester. And maybe a semester experience isn't right for you. We do have travel courses that give students the chance to still have that global experience, but on a smaller time frame. Travel courses require students to be in a semester-long course on our Biddeford campus, which fits within their normal class schedule. And then on the following break is when they go on a 1 to 2 week trip, depending on the course, with the corresponding location for that course, along with the faculty and classmates that they've been studying with throughout the semester. And I'm actually going to have Ellie speak a little bit about this because she did get to participate in one of our travel courses. So Ellie, if you can just talk about, what you were doing in the classroom and then how you were able to apply that while you were abroad, that'd be great.
Thank you, Emily. Hi, guys. I did do the Panama travel course the spring of my freshman year, and it was a great experience. It was my first time out of the country, and the global education department was definitely very helpful with making sure that I felt confident in my ability to do that. But as far as the actual coursework goes, it was a conservation and ecology class. So it allowed us to learn a lot about the Caribbean region in general, not just Panama specifically, but we learned a lot about the biodiversity there, and then also safe fishing practices and the dangers of overfishing. We talked a lot about commercial fishing and artisanal fishing and kind of the methods that are healthy and unhealthy for the environment in that way. And then on the actual travel portion, it was an 11-day trip, so just shy of 2 weeks. And we spent the first half of it staying in the capital region of Panama City. So it was super safe because it was the capital region. So that was great. They go back there every year. And then while we were there, we did a tour of the Panama Canal. So we got to see a lot of those fishing vessels in the water that we had learned about and talked about. And we also went to a global fish market in Panama City. So that was a really cool experience to kind of apply what we had learned and see it in action. We did also spend the second half of the trip in Western Panama in islands in Bocas del Toro. It was a very remote area. We had to boat through a mangrove and through to an island to get there. It was beautiful. We stayed on a field station, so it was super immersive. We were in the middle of the rainforest, kind of getting that experience of what it's like to be a researcher actually in the field. So that was a really cool experience as well. We did a lot of snorkeling. We explored a bat cave with the leader of the field station. So it was very safe because we were with him, but it was a really, really unique experience. We saw a boa constrictor, obviously a ton of bats. So definitely once in a lifetime experience. It was super cool.
Thank you for sharing that, Ellie. And just to give everyone an idea, we do have a whole host of other travel courses available to students as well across all different academic programs. There's a coral biology class that takes place in Belize, a global citizenship course in Cuba, an art and anatomy class in Italy, as well as a comparative education and global context course in Ireland. So the opportunities are truly endless, and they're on a rotating basis. So maybe you miss out on an opportunity one semester, it'll probably come up again. So as you can tell, there are all sorts of global experiences, but there's also still plenty to do right here on campus. One of the best ways for students to get involved on campus is through research. We do find that 42% of our undergraduate students are engaged in some sort of research with faculty at some point in their time with us. And research can begin as early as your first year on campus. Getting involved in faculty-led research is a great way to understand how research happens, as well as learn more about your field. And through these experiences, students really gain invaluable skills that they can apply outside of these research projects. It's also good to point out too, we have a lot of examples in here from our marine science or our health science programs, but there are a ton of opportunities for research, everything from psychology to business to animal behavior, students engaging in different research projects with our faculty members across all of our academic programs. All right, and to aid students in some of these research endeavors, we also give access to our PD Merrill Makerspace. The Makerspace is a fully equipped laboratory for creating, building, turning ideas into reality. Everything you can imagine to solve real-world problems can really happen in our Makerspace. And Ellie has had some great experience there, so I'm going to let her talk about that.
I'm currently in the coral fluorescence research lab, which is just like a volunteer research team on campus. So we do a lot of work in the Makerspace. We meet there for a couple hours every week. Right now we're working on building a camera mount to do underwater photography for coral fluorescence. We actually do that in Belize, which is pretty cool. We do data collection there annually. But we do build most of our own equipment. So right now we're working on the mount. And it's also a very interdisciplinary lab, which is really cool. It provides a lot of opportunities for also GIS students and anyone kind of more interested in data science, like the AI component of it, or even like more the engineering side with working in the Makerspace so heavily. So it really is more of a collab between like the biology side of like the actual data we're taking for coral fluorescence research. And then we also work with a machine learning program to basically train an AI program to detect when corals are diseased or not, just from the photos that we've collected in our data. And then of course, we're also building the equipment. So it's definitely very interdisciplinary, and we do a lot of GIS modeling as well for anyone interested in that.
So much. So as you can tell, through research opportunities on campus, we have a lot of resources to guide you through that process and support you as well, no matter your major. Another big important piece of the student experience is obviously internships. 92% of our students do some sort of internship, clinical rotation, or research project while they're with us. And depending on the major, it can focus on different skills areas, but the real goal is to make sure that our students are successful after they graduate. As I mentioned in the beginning, Portland is a thriving city with all sorts of opportunities in the surrounding area. So that is where a lot of our students are finding those internships and those clinical experiences. All of our students will have their professional, academic, and career advisor who will be a resource for them when navigating that internship process, and they'll also have their faculty mentor. So next up is our Q&A portion, and maybe Shruti, you can take this question. When you were looking at schools, were you considering schools with strong experiential education opportunities? And what did that really look like for you?
Of course. So when I was looking at schools, I was definitely looking at the club involvement, how much I can be involved on campus, whether that is like, obviously, I want to go to grad school. So I'm also looking at the education aspect as well as the fun aspect. And I feel like UNE has both of that. I am part of Red Cross for volunteering. I'm part of pre-med club for my major, and then also part of like multicultural club, which is like such a fun, cool club on campus that we do here. And then also regarding research, I was looking at like what kind of, am I allowed to do rotations on campus, or am I allowed to go do shadowing opportunities? I was looking at that as well when I was coming and choosing the school. So yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you. All right, let's see what I have next here. Ellie, I'm going to toss this one to you. What has been your favorite hands-on experience so far?
I would say definitely. We also have a lot of opportunities for research working with graduate students. So a lot of our programs do offer graduate programs, but our marine graduate students are often looking for undergrad students to kind of work with them in their labs. And I actually worked with one student who I thought her project was so cool that now I'm planning on doing my master's in like a similar field. So she's doing ecotoxicology research, which is basically looking at how recent medications are impacting wildlife when they're excreted into wastewater. So right now we're looking at how synthetic estrogen impacts the reproductive strategies of shrimp as our model species, which has been such a cool project. It's been a really good opportunity to do hands-on work. I mean, I've been in the Marine Science Center doing that probably 5 days a week feeding the shrimp. And it has been so fun to kind of learn how to do that like animal husbandry side, but also get all the background into why we do it and what we're looking at, and all that water chemistry has been really interesting.
Awesome. Thank you. Oh, I think this would be a great question for you, Shruti. How have these hands-on opportunities prepared you for your future? Because obviously you are looking to go on to med school. So how have these experiences added to that for you?
Okay, specifically, being part of being in the route to med school and being part of the pre-med club, it gave me the opportunity to join this program that is unique to UNE called the COM Mentorship Program, where when I say COM, I mean College of Osteopathic Medicine. That is a medical school at UNE. It's one of the grad schools at UNE. So what they do is with the undergraduate students, they pair you up with a medical student, a first year or second year med student who is on the Bedford campus. And they pair you up with them and you have like a little kind of mentor. So I've been doing it since my freshman year, and all these years I've always been friends with all my mentors, or I've gained new mentors. And in this process, you are more than welcome to ask them for advice on how to be a good applicant for med school, or what, and always ask them like inside questions that you can't really ask any admissions counselor. Like it's like having a friend who is there to give you advice, but also support you and stuff in this hard process. I think that's what really like helped me with these opportunities and stuff. I think that's, yeah, exactly.
Awesome. All right. I think I really have time for one question, because I'm going to have both of you give an answer for it. If you had one piece of advice for students applying to college right now, what would it be? Whoever wants to go first can jump on
it. Okay, so I know this is like so cliche, everybody says this, but they say it because it's true. College goes by so fast. Like even the semester I feel like has been breezing by. And I do feel like the sooner you can get involved in really whatever interests you, whether it's like research or doing travel courses, getting abroad, anything that you can get into and get that hands-on experience, the earlier you can start, the better. Not even because it gives you like a leg up or a lot of things that people say, but really just because it gives you more time to keep doing those things. So like the sooner you start, the more time you have later on to get more experience and to really dive in to the project so much that you really feel like well-versed in them. So definitely the earlier, the better. I mean, yeah, the longer you can be doing these things, the more fun it will be.
Okay, I think mine was like similar to Ellie, but I can give another advice because there's like so much to give as a college student. So I guess like when you're applying to college, obviously academics is like a big aspect of that, but don't stop right there. Like make sure you guys look into like the research and the involvement opportunities, and then see if that really aligns with your interests and goals. That's what I would really say. Like make sure you guys are pulling in every single aspect to make sure, because college does go by so fast, and these 4 years, like I love it. I loved it so much. And that's because of all the research that I did to UNE and why I like it. Because we're right near the beach, beautiful location. And then also all the clubs and the academics all align with my interests and values. Just, I guess, like make sure if it aligns with you. So, yeah.
That is some great advice, and I think a great note to end on. So I do have a few more things that I want to share with everybody before we wrap up here. So first and foremost, we do have a couple of deadlines coming up for applications. I know I said I wasn't going to talk about the application process, but do want to remind folks about the deadline. So we have our early action deadline coming up on November 15th. And then our regular decision deadline is February 15th. So if you are interested in our nursing or some of our accelerated medical biology pathways, I do recommend getting that application in for the early action deadline. And the biggest perk is that you'll have your decision from us by January 15th. If you do have questions about the application process, you can always check out our virtual info sessions to get more info about really getting in depth into that application. And we are going to have some more virtual sessions coming up. So I hope you guys have enjoyed tonight and you can enjoy some of our other virtual sessions. On November 13th, we're going to have our Living on Campus session. And then December 18th is Beyond the Classroom. So these are some great opportunities just to, again, learn more about UNE, talk to some more students, and just get a better idea if UNE is the right fit for you. And then, of course, we do have on-campus opportunities, and feel free to use that QR code link located on your screen. That'll take you right to our visit page. But we will have an open house coming up on November 2nd. This is a great time to talk with our faculty members. You get to meet with current students, again, tour our facilities, really get a feel for everything that Ellie and Shruti have been talking about of, finding out if we're the right fit for you and seeing if you get that positive energy on campus that speaks to you. That can be really important through this whole process. But of course, we want you to stay in touch. We want to get you connected to the right resources. So if you are looking to get connected with a counselor in your area, I do recommend heading to une.edu/counselors. I'm happy to get you connected with the right folks there. And the best way to get in touch with us is through our Maine admissions contact info. So our general phone number right there, or admissions@une.edu. We are always available to you. If our university is open, our office is open. So we are always happy to take questions from folks. You can also find us on social media, whether it's through the University of New England pages or the UNE admissions pages. We are constantly posting fun things. One of my favorites is that we have baby lobsters on campus right now. So we've gotten a couple updates there, which is pretty cool and exciting. So definitely feel free to check out those social pages. But again, thank you for being on tonight. I hope you've learned a little bit more about what we have going on campus. We still will keep everything open just so you can kind of remain in the chat for a minute. If you do have any additional questions, if there are any follow-ups you need, please feel free to be in touch with us. We are always happy to help. But as of now, just thank you for hopping on and have a great night.